Valve has updated the Half-Life 2 test depot over 16 times in the last 7 days. They're also giving us more info about new systems for HLX and Half-Life 3. In the recent CS2 update, if you look through the file changes, you will spot a few files removed called EP1 Citadel. Deadlock did have a codename of Citadel, which you can still find around the game, but with the new changes referencing Episode 1, this file change seems very random in a CS2 update, 18 years after Episode 1 was released. This wasn't it for Half-Life related strings in this update. Apart from the new animations we are testing for animgraph 2, Valve is also working on a new ragdoll and Gore system. This will allow players to shoot and disable specific parts of an enemy if they target enough damage to that area. There will be limbs that kill an enemy when they are shot, while others may not. Imagine being able to shoot someone's head off or even an arm. This isn't just a wish. This system was just added to the CS2 files, and although I would love it for Counter-Strike, signs are pointing it to be for Half-Life 3. One of the new changes involves ragdolls. A new string is for allowing ragdolls to take damage and even be destroyed if they have health. There was then new code for breaking and debugging destructible parts, which was getting updated along with animgraph. These destructible parts are set to have their own health remaining, and when these parts take enough damage and get destroyed, there are strings for them to get disabled. There is a lot more Valve added for these destructible parts, like all of their different data. One of the new lines says, "Do we disable the hit group when all subparts are destroyed?" So we know there will be different destructible parts, and then they will have their own subparts as well. Here are the few of the details for the new system. There will be a breakable piece name, followed by the body group, and a few other details like its health, and even the option for the NPC to die when the body part gets destroyed. Code for entities were added, which includes whether or not it has remaining hit groups or if it has no destructible parts. At the moment, the code refers to only base NPCs having these parts. So what Valve game in Source 2 do you think needs a system like this? There was even another line that referenced failing to destroy the part, or if it does, should the NPC die when this part is destroyed. Valve is adding custom death handshakes, aka animations, for specific parts when they take enough damage. So seeing as all these changes were just found in CS2's recent updates, you can assume they will be coming to Counter-Strike 2. But, as you probably noticed, multiple of these changes mention NPCs. So unless Valve wants to introduce this system with some operation for CS2 that has missions and NPCs, it seems to be pointing towards Half-Life 3. Especially since one of these lines mentioned base NPCs, which means there would be more than just one NPC type, which fits directly into the world of Half-Life with all the different enemies. As well, although I think this system would be really cool for Counter-Strike, it does seem like it would be a little bit too much when you think about the actual game. With Counter-Strike 2 being a competitive multiplayer, you add in the destructible parts. Does this mean that if you take enough damage to your arm, you can no longer use your gun? It just seems like something that would change CS2 or even Deadlock so much and take away from the way it is played that just seems like the system is not for those games. But you put this system in something like Half-Life 3, it really just adds some cool death animations and allows for you to shoot an enemy's arm or leg off. Or if Valve ever wants to reopen that can of worms, what about Left 4 Dead 3, as this new system seems to be great for zombies. There was also a few other random lines that were found, a hammer editor update, and new support for Vulkan that Valve has been working on for the past week. You probably know by now about the Half-Life 2 update that is coming for the 20th anniversary. Within the last 7 days, Valve has updated the test depot over 16 times. Most of them were pushing to new build IDs, until recently they even did a rollback on one of the versions. So Valve is for sure cooking something for us with Half-Life 2. I really just expect them to continue updating this test depot for the next few weeks until they are completely ready to push it live. But until then, we will just have to wait and watch their daily progress. After this big Half-Life 2 update, we will just be left with Half-Life 3 and HLX on the horizon. Last month, we got artwork from a new Valve artist showing off one of their previous cancelled projects they worked on that looked great. Imagine all the different artwork and concept art that is being shared behind the scenes for Half-Life 3 right now. Around 1 month ago, a Half-Life pre-release disc was found in a storage container with a date of October 20th, 1998. This is just 2 weeks before the official release, so the differences between it and the official released game was pretty small. But there was a little bit of never before seen content. Now, the same person who found the first disc found another one, which was dated exactly 4 days before the other disc on October 16th, 1998. Net Test 1 was a build sent to Valve testers to test the network capabilities of the game. This version is a lot more unfinished than Net Test 2, despite only being compiled 3.5 days earlier. A few things you might notice that are different are the German models for the headcrab zombie and grunt. There is also this G-Man animation of him looking inside his case, plus a bunch of other unseen content for Zen that includes mini camera cutscenes. You can download and play both of these versions, build 722 and build 725, through different archives. Now, this really isn't it, so I hope you are ready for all the Half-Life news that will be coming in the next few weeks by subscribing right now to not miss any of it.